G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Friday, it's a glorious autumn day. I'm on the ferry heading from Pyrmont to Circular Quay, so we'll get to see the magic of Sydney. We've got the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House coming up, Luna Park, and what we'll do is we'll go on a ride and talk. And today I want to talk to you about a book summary entitled Spark. It's a book with the title of Spark, and it's written by 3 authors, so it's a triple authorship. One of the authors is Angie Morgan, and the other 2 are Courtney and Lynch. So this book here talks about the energy that people can generate, and that energy can be quite contagious and infectious and influence a group in a positive or negative way. So I guess the key is to try and be a positive spark, one that can lead to opportunity, growth and development, as opposed to a damaging spark that can lead to problems, issues, challenges, and draining the environment by raising everything to the ground. So the author kicks off their book with a beautiful quote, and the quote says that small acts of service can transform relationships, teams, and cultures. So it doesn't take much to be a spark, according to the author, but the impact is quite remarkable. So it's important to be aware of it. It's important to be a generator of positive spark wherever you can, and to also be aware that if negative sparks are being generated, to quickly try and swap and change the mood and the energy, so that they don't damage the team environment, the family environment, and the culture of the group. So the author then goes on to say that a good leader is identified by the way they act. And I've been fortunate to have worked for some of the best companies and organisations in the world, and have observed and experienced great leadership and poor leadership. But at the end of the day, the great leaders are the ones which stand out because they're role models, and it's all based on the way they act, the way they think, and the things that they do. And it's not only the great leaders, so each and every one of us can be a great leader, because we each have the opportunity and the power to inspire those around us. So good leadership is not only reserved for CEOs, for directors, for parents, for uncles, aunts, grandparents and senior members of our teams and of our families. It's available to each and every one of us to express and to use in order to make a difference in our lives. I just got out of the wind here for a second so we don't get buffeted. The next point, or the first formal point should I say, to come out of this book summary is the author reminds us, and as I just mentioned before, that you can be a spark even if you don't have a leadership title. Because leaders at the end of the day are everywhere in an organisation, and the author calls these leaders sparks. So they don't have a title, but they have an energy, they have an influence, which, as we said before, is contagious and can make a significant impact on the team, on the organisation, and on the culture, which transcends every group. Anyway, a little bit of wind pushing through here, so I hope it doesn't cause a problem in the buffeting. But I think the ferry here is trying to pull up and having a few problems. So I'll keep on talking. So all organisations, the bottom line is that all organisations need employees who can ignite inspiration on every level of engagement. So it's not about being the director or the CEO, as I mentioned before. They can have only so much influence. They can only pump up the teams and the organisations to a certain point. At the end of the day, we rely on each member of the team to be able to make the right call at the right time and to ignite the passion of their team through their example. Like we see it in football, we see it in sport all the time. Once you pass the ball, then it's up to you to show the leadership and to make a decision and to express your personal leadership to do something with that possession that you have. And the same thing is within a family, within an organisation. Each person has the opportunity to run with the ball and to make a call with what they're going to do with that ball and to make the big play or the play that contributes to the big play. So let's move on to the next point. The next point that comes from this book is that being a spark means connecting with others more deeply and making better decisions. So it's all about connecting, as we said. It's about connecting with others and making better decisions. If you go on the other side, it's a bit noisy. So connecting, it's all about connecting more deeply with others and making decisions and following through on those decisions. Because a spark employs cognitive flexibility. Here we go, we've come all the way around the other side now. We couldn't pull up on the other side, so we're just going to pull up on this side. So according to the author, a spark employs cognitive flexibility when fixing a problem. So, and a spark is alert to alternate thinking, looking for patterns to find how solutions can be generated to the many different problems that we could face. So cognitive flexibility means the ability to chop and change and to change your decisions, change direction, change your angle of attack in order to get the outcome that you desire. But the author also goes on to say that this requires for sparks to have a thing called cognitive discipline, because it's all about slowing down your thinking and halting your instinctive reactions to have a better response. So it's being able, and I learned this many years ago. I was working with somebody and he says, James, I'm happy to go as quick or as slow as you need in order to get the outcome that you need. Those very, very words are so powerful and so helpful to any leader to know that their team are ready, willing and able to do whatever they can, whenever they can, to get the outcome. And sometimes it means working, thinking and behaving quickly, and yet other times it means just going slower, being patient and waiting, having a watching brief and waiting for the moment to pounce and to do what's needed to make the most of the opportunity once it appears. So as we said, it's all about being able to react and respond at the right time. And it's more about responding than reacting, because as we've learnt, reacting is something which is instinctive. And yes, instincts do play a part, sometimes, but not always. But as the author reminds us, we need to be able to respond, which means thinking. So we get a stimulus, and before the response, we have a thinking pattern. So we think about what we have to do by looking at the potential consequences and basically trying to do the right move at the right moment. And the author here talks about the importance of trying to respond constructively. Don't just respond in any particular way. Don't just act for the sake of acting. But the author here reminds us that we need to try and respond constructively. And the last formal point that comes out of this book from the author is that to become a spark requires that we become self-aware and we have a focus on serving others and have the willingness to admit we're wrong when we're wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to go out of our way to continually admit our faults and admit our errors, but we need first of all to admit that we're wrong when we're wrong to ourselves and also to the people around us who we trust and we know that will support us with our growth and development. And the last couple of points here is that because people love to pass on blame to others, as it is a survival mechanism, the thing that differentiates a spark from everybody else is that within their personal leadership style, they will always try and take responsibility and fix the problem rather than blame other people for the problem that may be at hand. So the other things that we've learnt over the years is that true sparks, true leaders are the ones who help others around them grow, develop and succeed and are not selfish. They're generous in every aspect of their lives and their work, and they learn very, very early that they can get greater results by working through people than by just relying on themselves to get things done. So the art of teaming is critical to being a great spark, and it's a learned phenomenon, and we learn it from a very, very young age through team sport, where we are able to learn that we all have strengths and weaknesses, and we need to be able to balance and to complement and supplement our strengths and weaknesses with others' strengths and weaknesses as well. So the bottom line, and it's really, really hard, is to try and be aware of our shortcomings. And by being aware of each of our shortcomings, then we're also able to make the most of the team environment that we have, the strengths that we have around us, and to be able to handle any obstacle, because we've got multiple options that we can play by, as I said before, delegating it and sharing the load with people in our team, in our families, in our environment, who are best equipped to sort it out and to deal with it. Anyway, I'm heading back into Circular Quay. We're just about to go past the Opera House, so let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. It's a spectacular day here in Sydney town, as you can see, and as I've said time and time again, autumn is without doubt the best time of year to experience Sydney, and I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, where we can be the wind beneath our wings and try and learn something, take something that'll help be constructive and help us get through the day, get through the weekend, get through our lives, where we can live, learn and pass it on. Yasas, take care, and once again, I look forward to catching up. I'm just about to go and get my COVID-19 shot, my first one. I'm going to be a AstraZeneca warrior, and can't wait to get the jab and have one less thing to worry about, and to do the right thing from a social conscious perspective. Take care, yasas, sagapao, and as you can see, it is indeed a glorious Sydney day, and I wish you all the very, very best for this upcoming weekend. Bye for now.